Okay, so Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes are crashing out on Twitter right now, so let's talk about it. So they're both conservative commentators, and she's been pro-Israel for the past like 10 years. And then when October 7th happened, she began noticing a little too much and got fired from her job with Ben Shapiro. Then she went on to make her own podcast and kind of proceeded to red pill the masses. So don't get me wrong, we do like Candace Owens in this house. And then there's this guy Nick, who she sort of got all her ideas from. Long story short, a lot of her talking points are basically just like watered down version of whatever Nick's been saying for years. So if we're talking about consistency, Nick just has a way better track record than her. He definitely paved the way for her to be able to do what she's doing right now, because he was noticing this shit before it was cool, before it was mainstream, and he got heavily blacklisted for it. So you would think if they have so much in common, they could get along and be on the same side, right? Wrong. So basically, they had some beef last year. Candace wouldn't have him on her podcast because he was, I guess, too risky to have on YouTube or something. I don't know. But I feel like that reason was sort of BS. I think the real reason was she had some personal problem with him, because he's very outspoken and he calls a lot of people out on their shit. And I do not think she appreciated that, because I think he brought her integrity in question when he questioned her labeling Zionists Frankists to be more politically correct. I feel like she lost some credibility there. And then I feel like she got big mad and she wouldn't let it go. And then last week she goes, "Hey, Nick, do you want to collaborate? You want to come on my podcast?" And Nick's like, "Yeah, sure. Is it going to be, friendly?" And she goes, "Of course. I don't set people up." And he gets there and she's like, "Why are you the worst person on earth?" Like literally asking these type of questions. And the whole interview was so freaking stupid because she couldn't stop harping on this old shit instead of just moving on, talking about the war with Iran, stuff people would actually like to listen to. Instead, she made it very personal unnecessarily. And usually she's the first one to cry victim in a debate and say, "Oh, these are ad hominem attacks. This is personal. It's off bounds." But this whole interview was exactly that. So then she's like, "I don't have enough money yet, even though I'm married to someone worth $100 million. Let me put the interview behind a paywall." Now, it was only $2 to be fair, but like she knew the attention Nick's name would bring, and she didn't paywall any of her other interviews, like with Andrew Tate, with Piers Morgan, anyone else she collabs with. This is not standard. So then she releases the interview and literally makes this the thumbnail, and like just makes the promo for it super rage baiting, like painting him in the worst light possible. And it's like not only the pot calling the kettle black, but also, pot, show some respect to the kettle, because the kettle came before you, pot. So then Nick goes on a podcast and he's asked about Candace Owens, and he says the following.
I don't hate Candace Owens.
Yeah.
I don't have a big problem with her. And I think she's doing good work. She's bringing a lot of people around to the truth. And she throws in a lot of nonsense about Brigitte Macron and other stuff I don't agree with. Yeah. I think that's nonsense. But
yeah, that is, she's saying that this dude is married to his dad?
Yeah. That the French president's wife is not just a transgender man, but is also his father. He's married to his, and I'm like, you lost me. I mean, that's a little out there. But so I don't hate her.
It's so funny how that's the line for you, though.
Like, well, because that's crazy. Like, that's...
He then also accuses her of serving foreign interests, and she gets really offended by this because, again, her integrity is being questioned. So she hops on Twitter and starts another rant by saying the following. You can pause to read if you want to, but basically she's just attacking his personality and crashing out. And like she refuses to take any criticism. She's getting so heavily ratioed, but she just refuses to listen. So then Nick also starts questioning her reasoning behind interviewing and rehabilitating Harvey Weinstein's image. And again, pause if you want to read, but just the ratio speaks for itself. Very interesting number of likes she got there, by the way. Again, Nick is just pressing her to answer the question, and she's unable to do so. And then he asks her one more time and tells her to make him a sandwich. And Twitter had a lot of fun with this one. Anyways, Nick's tweet comes off as pretty laid back, and she's just like fuming. You can tell by the way she's typing. So he asks her directly one more time, and she just starts quoting some random shit. Honestly weird as fuck. So he asks her if she's okay, and she quotes the video I just played you. Clearly she's still hung up on that. I'm sort of noticing a pattern here. She doesn't like her integrity being questioned, but she has no problem coming for Nick in a very personal way, saying he has character issues, personality issue, whatever she said. It's kind of hypocritical. So then he just starts trolling her and he says, yeah, you're right. My theory that you're serving foreign interest is a little far-fetched. By the way, could you get me a sample of hair and blood just to verify you aren't secretly your husband's father? He's referencing her series she's doing on Brigitte Macron being a man and a father of the current French president Emmanuel Macron, which is really an outlandish theory. So again, pointing out her hypocrisy. She then tries to frame it as an issue of caring about the kids, which like fair enough, but then he points out her hypocrisy once again by pointing out that her outrage is sort of selective because she's been associated with other people accused of similar things. And after that, she goes silent because the ratios were just too painful, I guess. So then she goes on Tucker Carlson's podcast and proceeds to just lash out at Nick, launch more ad hominem attacks, and yeah, just like doubles down on everything. And it's so weird to me, like the whole internet is telling you you're wrong, you're being hypocritical, so why keep doubling down? Like I feel like at this point you're just making yourself look bad, Candace, because Nick has a better track record than you. A lot of the stuff he says ends up being true. So it's like, let's learn from the past and check your ego, because there might be a greater mutual enemy. So maybe let's keep that in mind and not fight against each other. And if you're not serving for an interest, then why does the idea even offend you, right? I feel like it's more respectable to just address what's going on head on instead of resorting to these like personal name calling attacks. But yeah, that's it for today. That's so far the feud. If anything else happens, I'll keep you guys posted. All right, bye.